Hi, welcome back to UK Barn Finds for episode 2 of the Jaguar XK8. Now, if you watched the previous episode, you'll know that I got this car at auction with the intention of driving it from Suffolk to North Wales to go on an annual trip. I go on to meet some friends, do a bit of fishing, a bit of sightseeing and enjoy some food and time in pleasant company. Now, if you didn't see that first episode, we'll put a link in the description below. It's worth watching that one first because then you'll know what we're talking about in this one. If you're one of those people that just watches a few minutes of a video, skip ahead to the bit where my mate Midge gets in and out of this car because I'm still laughing just thinking about it. It's absolutely brilliant. But anyway, you're going to get to know this car along with me. This will be the first time I've driven it in anger, so to speak, so come along for the ride and we'll see if we can have a bit of fun along the way.
Right, have a great trip.
Have a nice time.
Will do, toodaloo. Peace and quiet for a few days.
There we go, let's hit the road now on the A14. It's saying I've got 294 miles to go. I've had a lovely little detour because there were some roadworks on the A14, so I got to take her down a bit of a country lanes. Squeezing down some tight ones. The potholes were amazing because what I have noticed, this is quite a low car, it's quite firm, you know. Obviously suspension as well is, I don't know what it's had done over the years, but it's 27 years old as well, so it does feel some of the bumps down those lanes. It's lovely on here on the A14, it's absolutely, you know, fine, but going down the country lanes I was trying to avoid some of the really grotesque, ridiculous potholes that obviously no one bothers about these days. I found out where the cruise control was. I looked that up last night but hadn't actually used it. It was a pain in the backside driving it back the other night and not having cruise control. I do rely on that, especially with all these average speed camera things. This is really awkward, like, because now I can't get my arm under there. I'm not going to make a fool of myself and keep trying since we're driving. So yeah, you try and get something out, and if by the time you've got there, I suppose if you're a contortionist, you could get under there, but I'm not going to push that anymore. But yeah, like, that's obviously only for use when stationary. It's tiny anyway. I don't know if the top lifts off and there's more space or what, but literally there's, I'll show you. But yeah, so that's not exactly practical for me on my own. Quite, you know, it's lovely when I go with Claire. She's a little darling, you know. I'll say, well, could you pass me a bottle of water or a breakfast bar or something, and she's there with a bag full of it if she hasn't already eaten it all. And the fact that I've got, you know, this glove compartment here, whatever you want to call it, side compartment here, I literally cannot fit, I don't know what sort of bottle would go in there. I've got these breakfast bars for the way here. It's 2 widths of that. So, and to be honest, if you had fat hands and dropped like a key or something down there, you'd have a job bloody getting it out. I'm loath to start fiddling with things in the car. I pulled like the sun visor down a minute ago. It's quite enclosed in here anyway. When you've got the sun visor down, it looks like you're peering through a tank, you know, aiming slot or whatever they call them on there. It is quite, if you were claustrophobic, it would feel a bit weird. Oh, it doesn't bother me, I quite like it. I don't think it's got heated seats or anything like that. I've got an S button there. I don't know if that's snow or sport yet, so I'll find that out later. There's not much else. So all I've got up here, I've got oil pressure gauge, which is sitting slap bang in the middle, battery gauge, which is sitting slap bang in the middle. I've got my phone on a clip-on mount on an air vent there. Using that for sat nav. Yeah, you've got the dials down here, you've got the air con. It's about the only thing I'm using. Sort of light height adjusters for your headlamps, fog lamps, driving lamps, traction off. Oh no, there is a heated seat button. I don't need it today because it's bloody boiling, but no, there is a heated seat button next to the hazard lights. 187 miles to go, so I've done over 100 miles. Quite narrow door mirrors. I got told off for calling them wing mirrors before by somebody who commented. You've got quite a fat rear end on this thing, and when you're pulling in, it's not the easiest to to get a good clear view on, but you know, it's enough. Quite narrow view out the back. You've got quite a small windscreen. I've got obviously the rear view mirror in front of me. I have just noticed on the rear view mirror it says auto, and there's some light things, and I have no idea, not a Scooby, what they are. And then on the parcel shelf behind me, because obviously you're looking in there and you're seeing that all the time, there's like a disc, quite a large disc. I don't know what that is, whether there's a speaker under there or what, but it's really like, just because I'm like seeing it now and I'm focused on it, I can't help seeing it. I wish it was just like a nice smooth parcel shelf, but now it just kind of bothers me, and I'm curious as to what's under there. This car I pulled out of a lay-by a little while back, and it's not slow. I'm not saying it's you know, it's quicker than our little runarounds, but it's not like breakneck quick getting there. I think it's got like a top speed of about 158 mile an hour, which obviously I'm never going to find out other than reading it. But I pulled out and I put my foot down. I'll get used to how to sort of play the auto box a little bit once I get to know the car a bit better. But it's not like, you know, like I've got Maserati and stuff like that where the power gets in there, turbos kick in and do their business. It was steady. But it will keep going, you know, it's one of those, it will just keep going and going until it gets to 158 miles an hour. But yeah, you're not going to burn off a sports car off the lights in this thing. They did in later models, they did like supercharged ones and things like that, and I'm sure they're a different animal altogether. But for what I want, this is perfect. This is like V8 just ticking along. Have I got a rev counter? Yeah, I've got a rev counter there. Let's have a look. Let's get it up to, I'll get it to 70. Stick the old cruise control on. The speedo does seem to be slightly out, so I'm at like 72, 73 on the speedo to get 70 on the sat nav. And you know the sat navs nowadays, the phone ones, they're so accurate. I wouldn't wholly trust them, but you know, over a distance they are accurate. So yeah, I'm doing 70 miles bob on, and it's showing about 72, and it's just ticking over, just over 2,000 RPM, almost, you know, almost spot on, 2,100 RPM. So little engine, 4-litre engines, ticking away. It's not straining it. This isn't hard work for that engine. This car doesn't accelerate massively quickly, although I have found now, I'm a bit of a short ass, as the auctioneer at Anglia Carlson's Jeff kept reminding me. If I proper put my foot down to the floor, you do get a bit of a kick in there. It does drop down a gear and it will go a little bit, but it's still not like, it's not like a supercar or anything. And it also stops in a similar way. I haven't had to slam on the brakes. I'm sure if I found a clear road, I can have a go somewhere one day, it would do the job. But it's quite a progressive, it feels quite a heavy car as it stops. Nothing to worry about, but it's not like one of those neck breaking ones. Oh, this is what I love. This hasn't really got a roar, this car though. It's a load of noise in here. But yeah, I bet, I don't know if you can see all right, but this tunnel would be fun in the right car. Oh, that's quite cool. That must be what those lights on the rear view mirror are for. So green lights come up there, my dash lights have all lit up. I think my headlights have come on. Bloody hell, that ain't bad for a nearly 30-year-old car to A, to have all that, and B, for it to still work. Look, there we go, back out in the sunshine, that'll all go off now. Isn't that clever? Well done, Jaguar. I don't know if you were ahead of your time, but you were certainly keeping up with the pack then, weren't you? So far, I've kind of vindicated my choice of car, because like when you're buying a car that was a lot of money for not a lot of money, you think, well, they're not a lot of money now normally because they're full of issues, and there's certain, you know, there's a certain truth to that often. But you know, this seems to be the value of these cars. So I don't think I was getting one particularly bargain price necessarily, but you could still, you know, especially when you got three there, if you bought a bit of a lemon, you'd be kicking yourself going, I bet the other two were all right. But no, so far this one's holding together okay, so I'm really pleased so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing my mate. There were 3 XK8s came up for sale. Actually, I could talk about that for a little bit. So 3 XK8s, there was a gold one, this one, and a really nice blue one. Oh, that buzzard just nearly got hit by a lorry. Now the gold one went through first. That was a cheaper one. And had I wanted an XK8 just to own an XK8 and nothing else, I would have. We did bid on it a little bit, but I would have gone for that one. The only reason I didn't, I think, if I remember rightly, so it had gone for an MOT, fine, but it had been sitting a while before that MOT. I think they got quite fortunate with the MOT. Nothing had deteriorated too badly, but I thought, if I'm blowing off 4 or 5 years worth of cobwebs, that's fine on a little journey, but something like this, and it was higher mileage, but it was fun. It was gold. It had the same problem with the windows, that when you went to shut them, they didn't go up. But apart from that, yeah, there wasn't much wrong with it, and that went really cheaply. If Claire's listening to this when she's doing the editing, hopefully she'll nip over to the Anglia Car Auctions website and let you know what that went for. So that one went first. This one was second up. And then there was the blue one. Now, the blue one was a lovely colour, higher mileage than this. This one has only done 58,000 miles. Well, it done 57 something when I picked it up. So this one's really low mileage. The other one had done quite a bit more, but I liked just the colour of it. I'll be honest, that was the only thing that set it aside. I thought was perhaps a bit nicer than this. But it did have a higher guide price than this one, and the guide price would have meant that, you know, possibly I wouldn't get it for the money I wanted. Now, as it stands, I think it went for the same price as the one we bought, and I do just want to talk about that. So I bought this, I bid I think 3,500. Well happy with that, because I said I want to bid up to 4 grand. But if I get 3,500, not only have I got it, you know, bid less than 4 grand, but I've also got, even with fees, that's less than 4 grand. What I wasn't listening in the room, I'm a bit of a bubblehead when it comes to that, and it was actually provisional. Now, I could have just said no, because they wanted a little bit more money. I could have just said no, and I think it was 3,700 they wanted. But then I kind of I got it, the pressure was off me for the day. I was actually feeling quite pressured to buy this because I wanted to get some other stuff just for fun. But this was the one that was putting all the pressure on. So I said, yeah, we'll do 3,700, that's fine, that's still under 4 grand, yada yada. And then I was thinking about it on the way home, because I looked on the website and it shows the results. And it was with the, just checking I'm in the right lane, with the fees and everything and VAT, it was 4,104. Now I said I wanted to bid up to 4 grand. I'm happy that I bid under 4 grand, but I knew what would happen, and what will probably happen, because someone won't even watch this bit. Someone will go, well, that was actually over 4,000. You didn't do it right and all that. So what I did,
continue straight for 13 minutes to A14 West.
I had a chat with Anglia Car Auctions, because I have bought a few cars from them. I said to him, any chance, just to make sure that no one can moan that with fees it was over 4 grand. I've paid the money anyway. Could you give the excess over 4 grand to Macmillan? And without a blink of an eye, of course we can, Elton. So they're going to give the excess that I've paid over 4 grand with the fees to Macmillan. And then, so what we're going to do, I don't want to make this a sad thing or anything, both, and I'm sort of feeling a bit tearful myself now, both Claire and I have lost a friend recently, literally me in the last week, and Claire the week before to cancer, way too young. So we're going to match that as well. So Macmillan are going to get a couple of £100 out of this as well, and I think that's the right thing to do. But so thank you to Anglia Car Auctions for being a part of that, and to Mark and Stephen, you went to soon, guys, and I'm sure we'll see you in another place another time. Tell you what has sort of, sorry, just before I finish, has been quite sobering having made it this far and almost there. I'm saying 30 minutes, 28 miles it's saying now. I've seen a lot of broken down cars, mostly modern ones. I think I saw one VW camper van. And yeah, it's for a 27-year-old car to sort of hold its own in this weather, I think it's quite good, you know, when you've got modern cars falling like flies all around you. So fair play to Jaguar so far, I've enjoyed this. I'm almost there. Just coming over the bridge now.
45, Telford Road.
The bridge in. Been in there a few times. Anglesey Arms ahead of me. That's where I stayed last time. I think it's here.
Turn right.
I'm going to go here. Yeah, there we go. And see what it's like. Bloody hell. Tight here. Oh, for God's sake.
Arrived. Destination.
Mr. Midge, there's Jim. This is the car here. There we are. Right next to the river there. Absolutely beautiful place. The chateau just up there. A wonderful place. But anyway, we're going to be using the car daily because I'll give my mate a lift, run it back and forth into town this evening for a bite to eat and off to the boat to go fishing. But it's been an absolute joy to drive so far. Here we are at the marina, which is absolutely stunning today. There is just a gentle breeze. The boat we're going to go on is well known to me. My friend Geffen Owen owns it, called My Way 2. If you want to laugh with a charter skipper, he's your man. But we'll just get around here and have a quick pan out to the estuary river here, because it is absolutely amazing. You wouldn't need to be abroad today, look, or any day really. Look at this. Skipper will show us how it's done.
Always listen to the skipper. Lovely day, innit?
Always is a lovely day up here, but yeah, the weather's added to it.
Sunshine, calm seas. I'd love to say wonderful company, but if you look around the boat...
What do you mean?
Debatable.
I said earlier, the motliest of the motley crew. How are we getting on?
We're here, I think. Yep. A little thorny. Look at that. And it is a female.
And we've lost count of how many we've caught.
We certainly have.
Nice one.
Thornback ray. Female, because she's got no ghoulies. Can I do that one as well?
That makes me a female then.
We'll put her back and watch her swim away.
Awesome. The Grange Hill sausage shot has become a bit of a tradition for us in Anglesey now, and we made full use of some of the restaurants and pubs that the place has to offer, including a superb mixed grill from the Bridge Inn. In fact, it was that good, one of the locals decided to help himself. I was pretty confident the car would be fine for the journey home, under no real rush, so I decided I was literally about 20 minutes away from Anglesey Classic Cars. Now, I've bumped into the owner Ian at a couple of auctions in Norfolk and got chatting to him, lovely guy, and I said if I was ever up there I'd swing by, so unannounced I decided to pop over there. There we are, Anglesey Classic Cars. Ian isn't here. I knew I should have rung ahead. I took a chance because I wasn't 100% sure I'd be coming here. So, but I've had a chat with the guys who work in here. Absolutely awesome people. As you can see outside, you've got all your modern stuff. I just found out. Apparently, oh yeah, bloody hell, I see it now. Some geezer had had a bit too much to drink and decided it'd be a good idea to drive his car the other day. And took out 7 cars along the way. Not obviously those cars have gone, and so is the wall that was there. An absolute idiot. On a totally selfish note, none of the classic cars appear to have been wrecked. But I'm just going to have a quick wander around. Now, I don't know. I know pretty much all of the cars are for sale, but I do know that there are some that are Ian's own cars. So if they feature, if you were genuinely interested in buying them and you weren't sure, check with either us first or give the guys a call at Anglesey Classic Cars, and they'll let you know. But I mean, obviously, straight away, the Minis there, including the pickup at the back. Now, I did ask the question, you know, is it all local cars? Do the cars get sold locally? And no, they don't. Apparently, you know, this Mini here's going to the north of England. I will just poke my head in here. These are Ian's, I believe Ian's personal cars. So this, well, I say, not for sale at the moment, but you never know with car guys. One day it may, but that is absolute beast. Brooklands, possibly Turbo Technics. I don't 100% know. I don't know what's under there. Your guesses. Tell you what, put a guess below. I'll ask Ian at some point what's below the car cover there. Over here, it's like a showroom, so it's storeroom with some really interesting cars. Now here we have such an eclectic collection of cars. Now, look, I think that's just sold. I'm going to go behind and show you here, look. It's a bit tight in here, but I'm doing the best I can for you guys and for myself, because I've only literally just poked my head in there. I didn't even get as far as the Peugeot. So the Morris, what struck me about that is A, I like them, but B, I just watched one get sold this very weekend at the auction at King's Lynn, where I bumped into Ian again. And there's also a chance of seeing two like that in the space of a few days. There we go. Peugeot 205 GTI. 1.9, not exactly a slow car in its day. There's just cars everywhere. Absolutely cars everywhere. So the guys also work on classic cars here and moderns. They literally do everything by the sounds of it. I've had a very quick chat. Such nice people. I don't know if it's part of the country we're in or the trade we're in, or whether I'm just a lucky guy, but I seem to keep bumping into nice people. So yeah, it's just a collection of customer and Ian's own cars there at McGann Sport. Oh, sorry, yep, McGann Sport. I think that's for sale. I know it's not classic, but that's a pretty nifty car. Oh look, have a little pug behind there. I think I could spend all day just finding cars. But as I said, I'll just poke my head in there. I don't want to get in their way. They're busy working. But just to show you, like, obviously like the modern stuff is the bread and butter of a lot of garages. And then you've got Morris's, MGs, lovely Merc over the back. Cars everywhere here. From about, I've seen cars from at least 1950s up to the very present day. But anyway, there you have it. Anglesey Classic Cars. We'll put a link below. Do look them up. Lovely people. Their cars will be sold everywhere. It's not, if you're not local, you still want to have a look. You might find the perfect car here. Homeward bound. Yes, we've gone the wrong bloody way, look.
All set. Let's go.
It wants me to turn around at some point, so I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can't do it before then. Doesn't that annoy you when you pull out of somewhere and the bloody sat-nav doesn't know which way you're pointing in a yard? Look, I can turn around here. She's trying to take me like half a mile up the road, when I know that I can turn around here and be done with it.
All set. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, something just made an awful bang in the car. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? I have no idea what that was. I need to pull over. The bang. There's nothing wrong with the car. I don't know if that was something that just fell over in the boot or something that hit the bottom of the car as we were going along. Is there anything else that could have caused that noise? You tell me, because nothing got worse. Nothing's happened again. It was just one of those things. But for a moment there, it really did put the wind up me. So after a fairly uneventful trip home, 10 miles from home, we got diverted from the A14. There's some roadworks, but I think it was a twist of fate because there was a collective farm sale. Now, I go to this particular sale every year and I know the people who run it. So as I was going off the A14, I gave him a quick call, said, is it all right to pop over now and do a viewing? And as you'll see, it was okay. We'll park up here actually. Look at this, a bit of off-roading in a Jaguar XK8. Can't beat it, eh? A couple of days before the farm auction, be a good. Wasn't going to film it. I think I said in the car, let's not bother. But 2 days before a collective farm auction, I'm passing. I know the people who run it, so I couldn't resist swinging by. And then as soon as I pulled in, this is the lots that kind of go towards the end. They're laid out in order. If I quickly just pan round. It starts over that far corner there and then they work up in rows. There are lots of gaps at the moment because, like I say, it's 2 days before, so a lot of the stuff will start coming tomorrow more, and then some stuff even last minute. But yeah, there'll be vans. Did notice some discoveries. Apparently these have all got MOT. If anyone wants to know, this sale is at Warren Farm in Weatherden, Suffolk. I'm not going to have this up in time for that auction. It's in 2 days' time, but it is an annual event in June. So, and there are other sales like this around, so keep an eye out. You probably see them and think, oh, it's just ploughs and cattle stuff and that, but no. You'll find all sorts of vehicles. But what I'll do, some nice big tractors there, I'll just try and pick out some of the more automotive type stuff. Anything with wheels on is fair game, I reckon. Won't make it too long. I'm more here to see for myself. I don't come in to film. I come here every year and buy stupid stuff. I think I bought last year. I bought a tractor and a couple of milk floats and all sorts. That's quite cute, that International. That's lovely, isn't it? Little Fergie. I'll find out about that International later. Find out a bit more details, ask a few questions. I've got a tractor. I don't even need a tractor, but I'd still buy another one. I'm supposed to be going up row by row. I'm intrigued by this. I must investigate. But certainly a barn find. That looks pretty cool. My camera work's going to be shockingly bad here with this rig. But how about that? I don't know if that's like an official like kit Jeep or what's going on there. It's all proper set up, and I mean that is a cool little barn find, that. See if I can have a look underneath the hood. There, look. That's hilarious. Might have to have a little bid on that. And moving on from the Jeep, look at these. It's amazing what you find at a farm sale. We've spoken about a lot of the good points about the Jaguar XK8. Bear in mind it's 27 years old. Obviously, if you're going to do a review, you've got to sort of find things that are wrong. There are little bits and pieces I think we probably mentioned before I left, things that don't work, like the cigarette lighter, the windscreen wiper that needs adjusting, little bits of trim here and there. There's a tear in the driver's seat. They're all little things that are just signs of age. If you were to keep a car like this and wanted to love it, you could fix all those things. Nothing's beyond the realms of possibility there. They were quite simple things. As a bigger picture, I love a V8. This car, I found sort of where the power is. It's perfectly quick enough, believe me, fast enough car. But you don't get that raw V8 sound, that feel of a V8, that burble, that kind of rumbling in the seat. So it's very refined, which is meant to be. That's not a fault of the car, it's a fault of my expectation of a V8 really. But to be honest, apart from one other thing that might affect some people, that's about all I could find wrong with it. And that one other thing is, for some people, because this is possibly seen as a car for people of a certain age now, me being one of them, it is a low down car. It's, I mean, I'm looking here, I'm not the tallest guy, but it's well below my knee level there. So you have to sink into it. Now, I get away with it. I'm 50s, young 50s, so I can get away with it. Have a look at what it's like if you're a little bit older and a little bit bigger than me and had a sherbet or two. I want to show everyone
What's that?
what it's like when a half-cut, 75-year-old, 6'5" ex-policeman
arse.
gets
Look,
into a Jaguar XK8.
Here is my belly button. Now my belly button fits just at the top of the roof, all right?
Got it. Elegantly as you can.
Open doors. The first thing, get your arse in. Far easier when you're that old. Then, just making sure you've got your head, and then turn your pod, get your legs in. Jobs are good. Oh, jeez.
Couldn't be simpler, could it?
Couldn't be simpler. Easy.
Now, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Midgley, for the benefit of the viewers, can you show how to gracefully exit a Jaguar XK8?
Bearing in mind, of course, that there's a
One moment, can you just pause?
pause.
I'm just glad that we managed to park a bit further away tonight.
Right, now, the first thing is to get the first leg out. Once you've got that,
Oh, it's easy now.
it's
You've
a piece
mastered
of piss.
it.
It really is. Absolute piece of piss.
It's taken you
Then,
all week.
You got to make sure that your head comes through this side, cause
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a big, you know, a little bit of elbow on there, a little bit of elbow on there.
It really is a gentleman's car, isn't it, mate?
Oh, it is absolutely fine. Now there we are.
Thank
Shut
you.
the door, but making sure that, oh look, see,
Fucking stop reminding me about that.
there's a little gap here.
Moving swiftly on. Well, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed the Jaguar XK8 videos. We've certainly enjoyed making them. They've been a new challenge for us as a sort of fledgling channel, and it's been great getting to know a different car, perhaps one I wouldn't have ordinarily bought. I suppose the question now is, what happens to the car? And to be honest, we're a family with children and teenagers. It doesn't really fit in there. I've got other cars that I enjoy, my fun cars. And as much as I loved the Jaguar XK8 and I really did enjoy driving it, I'm not going to do a journey like that necessarily for another year. So this one's going to go back to auction. We'll sell her. So if you do see it come up for sale, probably be at Anglia Car Auctions, you'll know that this car has done me proud. I've been using it since. I've taken it to a show, I've done trips to the shop and all sorts. It's done sort of 800-900 miles in my care and it hasn't missed a beat, so it's probably quite a good buy. The money that we get from it is going to enable us to get another car to do another feature on, which we're working on at the moment. So please, if you like our stuff, have a look around, subscribe. It really does help. It gets it in front of more people, and comment below, like the video, share if you can. Anything helps us out, and we'd love to bring you more content like this. Thanks for watching again.